Hey again, it's me. Been a while. What are we doing here today? Well, first of all, excuse the disheveled look. I am just all over the shop and I am going to clean up tonight, but I needed to do this now because today some videos came out by user Fatboy Toy Review on YouTube, going over the brand new SH Figure Arts Wolverine and Deadpool figures. And I had some thoughts. I'm mainly very excited. I was watching through the videos and I was creating some thoughts, and I honestly just want to talk about them because I am very excited for these figures. When they were announced way back around the release, I think it was, I have been so patiently awaiting these figures. I didn't get Marvel Legends. I didn't get the knockoff one that was released. Well, I say knockoff, but that's the brand that was made in China, so I don't know. But I haven't gotten any of them. I've been patiently waiting for the figure arts because I knew it was going to be good, and boy howdy have they delivered. One major gripe I really have. That's it. But it's kind of the gripe which ascends a 9 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10. So we'll go into that right now. So the first one, we're going to be starting off with Deadpool. Right off the bat, the figure in the box just looks fucking unreal. I love the design of the box. The box obviously isn't the most important part of the figure. It's not the make or break at the end of the day, but I do really like the design. It's simplistic, but it gets the point across, and then, you know, just every other standard thing that you find in a figure arts box. Very reminiscent of what they did for Deadpool 1 and 2, I believe. I missed out on those ones, but I did do a lot of research into them because I really wanted to get a figure arts Deadpool. And then Deadpool and Wolverine was announced, and I was like, they're probably just going to make one for Deadpool and Wolverine, so I'll just wait for that. So, let's have a look. Now, right off the bat, as he was opening the box, my first impressions were, wow, that's a lot of stuff. Because there is so much stuff in this Deadpool figure, it is insane. Like, I was talking about it on my Instagram, or my personal Instagram, but there is, like, the amount of work and the amount of stuff that they put into this figure, like, I'd argue it's probably the perfect Deadpool figure around in terms of, like, what you're getting in terms of value for your money, how much you're spending, like the scale of the figure, the articulation, the detail. Like, I think personally this is the perfect Deadpool figure in terms of the live action adaptation. Obviously there's like comic versions that Mayfex has done, etc. Those things like ascend the bar to a whole different level. But for someone like me who just likes collecting stuff from the movies, this is perfect. I love this. So let's give it a bit more of a look. Yeah, that right there, all of those hands, that was the point. Hang on, I got a Pokemon pack. That's not terrible. That's pretty good. Right, now, where was I? This figure. Yeah. I would, like, when they put when all the hands came out, I was like, holy shit, this figure just ascended to another level for me. That is an absolutely ridiculous amount of hands, but I'm not complaining. The more hands on a Deadpool figure you give, the better. Now, there. Okay, yeah, no, I'm seeing it now. There was one thing that I was looking for, like over here, the dagger stuff. I'll talk more about why that's really good in a minute, for those who are uneducated. But like what they've done with the dagger stuff, I was super happy with, very happy. So let's go a little bit further into it. We got the articulation. Articulation was fantastic. I was a little worried about the shoulder blades, but it doesn't look like they're soft plastic. Like it looks like a little bit like they're soft plastic, and they kind of bend over, but they also get in the way a bit, which is good too, because I need to get my hands on the figure to figure out what the material actually is. But I assume it is some variant of soft plastic to a degree. But yeah, the articulation is fantastic, as it usually is on figure arts, in my personal opinion. but again, I need to get my hands on it to be able to fully articulate those thoughts. Yeah, like in terms of the details, it looks amazing. I have literally zero complaints. Even if we go back to when he was doing the articulation, and he was moving Deadpool from side to side. Yeah, like if we go right here, he moves Deadpool from one side to the other, and we got the strap on his chest, like it still stays connected. It does look a little bit wonky, but it still stays connected. I did not expect it to stay connected at all when I was looking at it. So I saw that and I was like, wow, that's fantastic. We go to the other side. Yeah, it still looks connected. Like, that's insane. Like, I know it's not that difficult to do in hindsight, but the fact that they were able to put that like little bit of thought into it and do that is just like, it's so appreciated, because especially when the strap isn't isn't separately detached to the figure, it's so appreciated that you can at least get poses like leaning to the side a little bit and it still looks connected. Because I personally prefer it when the strap is actually like on that, like sculpted into the figure and not separate, because that's one of the issues that I have with the Studio Series Deadpool that I have currently. We go forward and we go back. Yeah, a little wonky with the strap when you go back, when you bend backwards on the front, but that's kind of to be expected if you want to get that full range of versatility and motion. So I'm okay with that. I can let it slide. But yeah, that was just something really cool I noticed. Outside of that, yeah, like it looks amazing. There's not really much else I could say about that without gushing about the full design of the actual suit itself. I'm just really glad. If anything, I'm really glad that what they did with this final movie suit was they took what we loved about the first. They took what we loved about the suit from the first two films, and then they incorporated more comic-y elements into it. With this front little black split strap chest part, that's something that I'm familiar with from the comics when I first recognized it, and I was like, yes, I love that. Like, hang on, do I still have okay, it's back. But yeah, like it's just the smaller elements that I really appreciate them adding in here. I also really love the color that they've chosen for it as well. The darker red was cool for what the first two films were, but given they went in a bit more of a comic-y direction with this suit, I really like the lighter shade of red that they've gone with this. Yeah. This is another point. I don't know if I said before, but this is insane. The amount of accessories that they got in this, and this image does not even include all of the accessories that it comes with, because it's still missing all of the eyes as well. But you got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different sets of hands, plus the fist hands that it comes with, unless those are the fist hands that it comes with. But regardless, that's insane. That's so many hands. Then you got the 2 swords, you got the sword holster on the back, swappable knife parts, gun holsters. Thank God, because for those who are uninitiated, the original first edition Deadpool figure arts did not have guns. They could not have guns on the figure for the first movie, because at the time of release, I believe that was illegal in Japan or something like that. So they could not put guns on that figure. So they didn't. Then the second figure came around, and at that point in time, they were able to put guns on the figure, but to make it different, they went ahead and darkened the suit a lot and made it more sooty like it is in the film towards the end, which was okay, but like it was just kind of one of those things where it like either figure was good, but like neither of them were the best of both worlds. This figure, I feel, is the best of both worlds, incorporating all, like, bringing everything together into one final figure that is just absolutely fantastic. So all the accessories are just absolutely nuts. The fact that you're getting that many is incredible. That sticks on the back easily. The swords come out, little pegs there. Unreal. Like, it prevents damage to the paint job on the swords. That's something that I've noticed with a lot of figures that I own that do have that sheathing effect. The paint can start to rub off. So I really appreciate them doing that with not only the swords, but the knife. Speaking of the knife, no, we got the guns going, the gun holsters there. Here we go, the knife. I love this. Having that small little part, I thought they were going to do something similar with the swords and have the little sword peg to pull in and out and swap it over with the knife, but no, taking out the entire knife holster, replacing it with an empty one, and then having the knife accessory, like the knife accessory, just be separate. Brilliant. I love that. That's like, it's such an easier way of doing things, especially with such a small part that's already finicky enough. I love that. That's fucking brilliant on their part, so that is greatly appreciated. We got the head pool piece. This was one of the more random things for the figure, especially if you've seen the film and you know head pool's role in the film. Like, him being included with a Deadpool figure is kind of like, but still, I appreciate it regardless, because it's a fun little inclusion and it can be used, like, he can be used for a variety of different purposes. So, it's fun, and they already, like, spoiled us rotten with this figure anyway, so I'm totally okay with this inclusion. It's just, like, more stuff. I'm happy with it. He's fun. Then we got the different eyes, like, yeah, a height comparison with some other figures, and then just some action poses. But yeah, like, this is the perfect Deadpool figure if you're looking for a 1/12 scale Deadpool figure. Absolutely fucking amazing. I love it to bits. I can't wait to get my hands on this guy and, like, fiddle around with him, because he just looks absolutely incredible, and that I can't speak highly enough of this. And in a similar sense, if we look at let's take a look at Wolverine, because I also speak really highly of this figure as well, because it is, like, it's really good. It's not perfect like the Deadpool is, in my opinion, but it's still really good. So let's talk about the good and the bad from this figure that I like and I don't like. First of all, box design, very similar to Deadpool's. I've already gone over what I like about that. It's simple, the, like, colors inverse, Wolverine, etc., etc. You know the gist. The unboxing, the accessories, it wasn't a great deal, not as much as the Deadpool, but honestly, I am okay with that. I feel like, and with Wolverine, it's just the right amount of accessories that you need. I'm kind of glad that they created separate hands for the standard hands and the clawed hands, because, like, pulling out and removing those claws from the figure with notches that small could be really, well, for one thing, finicky, but for another thing, like, you could lose parts easily, and it wouldn't be easy to do, so I appreciate them doing that. It's a fine amount of accessories. Could they have included more? Maybe, but if anything, it would have just been more different hands to use, so it's fine. I'm happy with that. I think that is a good amount. Like, 6 standard hands, 4 clawed hands, 2 in fist, 2 in open hands. Perfect. That's all you need. So, I'm happy with that. Articulation is also really good on him as well. Now, this was actually something that I was really interested to see. Now, the one thing I knew was going to be a bit of an issue for a while was the shoulder pads, because I didn't know how they were going to do it without it being wonky, or it easily breaking or anything of the sort. So what they did with that was actually really interesting to solve that problem. If we go through here, get to the arm movement. Yeah, so it seems like, from what I can tell, the shoulder blades are connected to the actual shoulder itself on the arm that moves, but it's connected on a hinge that goes up and down like this. Like, you'll see it more clearly in a second. Yeah, right around here. Like, you see that small little gap there where clearly something can roll back and forth, and he'll push it back up in a second. Not the arm. Yeah, like right there. That was a really interesting solution to that problem, which I was actually incredibly surprised by, if I'm honest. Very welcome. Yeah, very welcome though. Like, it's a very good solution in hindsight, and I'm glad that they chose to go that way rather than have some like soft piece hanging off, which might restrict or limit movement in any way. So I appreciate that. That's awesome. I love that. Articulation is fantastic. The details are fantastic as well. Very good recreation of the suit from the movie. I think they got the proportions done pretty nice as well, although I'd have to go back and double check, but the proportions do seem pretty accurate from what I can tell. I need to go and double check though, but yeah, it looks like it is a good looking figure. Now, here's where we get to the main issue I have with this figure. The lack of inclusion of a Hugh Jackman face. Now, it's not that big a deal that they didn't include a Hugh Jackman face. And if they just went and released two heads, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. I would have thought that they probably could have made the jawline swappable on the mask and just included one mask, two jawlines, and then a Hugh Jackman face would have come out to maybe the same budget, maybe a bit more sculpting and detail because of the intricacies of having a human face, but it would have been fine. But the problem really arises for me once he turns this mask around. Because if you take a look right here, that little peg is fucking damning for me, because that means they were aware of it. They tried to experiment with swappable jawlines, and maybe they are swappable. I don't know for sure. They more than likely are swappable because I assume that the eyes might be different. I can't say for sure. But what I can say for sure is the fact that they were experimenting around with this, it's disappointing for me, because it would have been totally possible to go ahead and include a separate Hugh Jackman face. Because they very clearly, again, they were experimenting with this, or they made it possible. I can't say for sure, because, again, it's another thing which I'd need to get my hands on. And maybe once I get my hands on the figure and I can see for sure, then I can go, okay, yeah, I was right, I was wrong about this. I would love to be wrong about this. I would love to be able to see this, have the swappable jawlines maybe, and go, oh yeah, no, different eyes, that's fine. But for the time being, with just this video being basically the only point of reference that I have at the moment, it's hard to say, man. It's still a fantastic figure. It's a solid 9 out of 10 figure for me, just based on what I can see from this alone. But that Hugh Jackman face would have just elevated it to a 10. And yeah, I can more than likely find a place to get one online from a third-party seller who makes custom faces for the figures. That is a more than likely possibility. And the fact that this person has shown, the fact that they showed the peg here is good, because that means that people can start working on the face, which is good. But even then, it's got a neck problem that I'm just noticing too, where if you had the face, you'd still have the yellowed neck, so you'd need to swap over the face, but because of how the neck is designed, the actual collar part is built into it, so look, now that I'm looking more closely at it, I can see why they wouldn't have gone for the Hugh Jackman head. It would not have been friendly to the budget that they probably had for this figure at all. It would have been a lot more extra work. And with all of the work and effort that they put into designing this figure already, I can live with this. Again, this is still a fantastic figure. I'm not trying to discredit this figure at all. It is still fucking amazing based on what I've seen. But it's just that small little nitpick which just like eats at your brain and you just can't escape. Regardless though, like they look absolutely incredible. I love how they both look. I can't wait to get my hands on them. I'm hoping that I can get my hands on them as soon as possible. I don't know when they'll get shipped out, but I'm hoping early January, mid-January at the latest. It'll probably more than likely be late January for me if I'm realistic though, but because of New Year's times and everything. But yeah, these guys look absolutely incredible. I am so excited to get my hands on them, and stuff like that is just amazing, dude. I am so hyped. But yeah, if you want, I will probably be talking a lot more about figure stuff throughout the year because I got a lot of figures on back order. The other day I just learned about some Cyberpunk Edge Runners figures too, which I may or may not have put down another pre-order for. But if you want to see more stuff like that, let me know. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. I'm gonna go watch that film again.